Some time ago, I went down the rabbit hole, or perhaps foxhole, of the dog-hating side of YouTube, and we watched a few videos, read a few community posts, so on and so forth, and I uploaded a highlight of our little journey onto YouTube. One of the fellows whose videos we looked at, called Kanon Official, has seen my highlight reel from that stream, and has decided to debunk me hanging out with you guys and watching his stuff. So, we're gonna check it out. Bazinga. Hopefully, my hope is he'll explain what the thing in the bottom right is. Some sort of pygmy jerboa or whatever. Is it from Kirby? It looked like a Kirby thing. Use the old brain. Watch out, Notch is gonna DMCA claim you. It's his now. Bang.
Dogs have urinated and defecated in the stores I frequent. Dogs have left their nastiness in several neighborhoods I've lived.
I love it. I forgot. It's all text-to-speech, isn't it? I forgot it's all text-to-speech. Why the f do you frequent those stores?
Hello. Welcome to the channel.
Oh, man.
Kanon Official here. Kanon Official here.
Oh, alright. He's going nutto mode. AI song time. This goes hard. Holy f, I want to get a pit bull now.
Well, that's not what...
It's good. It's good. He didn't do this. I think Whaler did this, and then I put it in my video with those dog pictures in the background. Holy f, I want to get a pit bull now.
Well, that's not what I was going for.
I know. That's whence comes the humor.
So, I may address a few things this Joker said, but in this video...
Yo, I've been upgraded from Gay Riddler to I am now the Joker.
I am going to focus more on the comments left on his video, because I think they are telling. In fact, I don't think so. I know so, and they do a lot of self-telling, as is to
the Gnostic. What is the name of this creature? The Gnostic jerboa.
Be expected from dog culture. So, we can start with the better posts, and sort of work from there. So,
the better posts, such as dogs are total shit. God damn, I hate dogs so... Dogs are total shit. God damn, I hate dogs so much. How is it that damn near 50% of people in the US have animals that are violently hostile to anything within earshot?
This is what one of his own subscribers has to say.
One of his own subscribers! My property. I need to control them, much like dogs need to be controlled.
I don't even necessarily fully agree with the guy, but this genuinely is, and I hate to use this term, one of the most bad faith videos I have...
Bad faith claim by proxy.
...ever watched. You misconstrue almost everything he says, and go for ad hominem attacks every opportunity shown, while there's no actual point trying to be made.
But I still like you.
You laugh at him, but he probably grew up in a suburban neighborhood where there were 5 dogs barking at nothing the entire day.
Oh no! Oh no! Does he think this comment is face value?
Crazy.
Society did this to him. A dog-loving society.
I can assure you that I am not crazy.
Okay.
But yes, incessant barking.
It's a joke comment, man.
The presence of dogs in general really certainly can have this effect on people. I like this post because it shows that at least somebody understands that dogs themselves are the cause of this movement.
Yeah, sure, I get that. Bro, I understand.
I won't mince words here. If dogs weren't utter shit in and of themselves, there would not be a movement calling for their removal, or for much stricter laws pertaining...
What else can we apply that to? I feel like that can be applied to a few other things. This is... My theory that this is like a LARP where they're actually racists, I feel like my sense that this might be what's happening is getting stronger. But every time I start to think that, they'll come out with something that is so precise to dogs that it's like, no, they are talking about dogs. It's just a coincidence.
...to their ownership, or for the abolition of their ownership, and so on. Then there is this post, where the writer claims that dog hate like this can only come from a person living in a country that's absolutely overrun with dogs. And that's just the problem.
That's just the problem. I live in America.
Isn't it? Although the United States, which is where I have lived most of my life, though not all of it, may not quite have the stray dog problem seen in places like India.
He watched my video. Big rabies problem. The streeties.
Example. It is worse here in the sense that people in this region...
Hang on. Come on, man. Even if I was like a I hate dogs kind of guy, the dog situation in the US worse than the dog situation in India? I don't think so. If we're gonna compare, I think India with the 20, is it something like might be getting this completely wrong, 20,000 cases of rabies a year? Perhaps I should look this up. 18,000 to 20,000 rabies deaths a year in India. That's wild. Dogs responsible for up to 99% of rabies transmissions as well. So it's not from some other animal.
Really do practically deify dogs, and also insert them.
Practically deify. No, they don't. There are dog-loving freaks who do. A culture of the deification of dogs? Nah.
Them everywhere. Take them into stores where they are out of place, and so on. Although it should be noted that there definitely are impoverished neighborhoods all across the United States and other countries that very closely resemble those other nations this poster is alluding to, and I will speak to my own experience now. What this person says, it is not the case either, although I have lived in a country like this, but rather the presence of dogs has been impossible to ignore for the last several years.
But before that point, you could ignore dogs? Now, this one's a weird one. If you go more than several years back, however many he means by that, there was a period where you would just ignore dogs?
Most of my life, I was mostly apathetic towards dogs.
Oh, okay.
Although I didn't particularly fancy them, I did like them more than I do now.
Dog fancier. We got a dog fancier here!
Which, considering how much I hate them, any amount of sympathy I might have had for them in the past counts as liking them more than I do now. Of course, I always thought people who are obsessed and consumed with dogs are weird, and I never could relate to them. I always found things about dogs obnoxious and off-putting, but I did not have to deal with them, for the most part.
All right.
So I mostly didn't have to think about them, but that is no longer the case.
Ooh.
There are places I've lived where dogs have made those areas incredibly stressful and unpleasant, even
Right.
dangerous. By the way, this harmful opinions clown actually...
This harmful opinions clown! Let's go. Making an area dangerous. Based on what? Did you feel fear that certain breeds were around, perhaps? Were people letting their dogs go loose? If you hate dogs, you're scared of dogs, your perception of danger is going to be skewed. Likewise, if you love dogs, you might think situations that are not safe are safe. Gotta quantify it.
even dangerous. By the way, this harmful opinions clown actually said this.
Dogs have urinated and defecated in stores I frequent. Dogs have left their nastiness in several neighborhoods I've
Why the f do you frequent those stores? Yeah! This harmful opinions clown actually asked why I eat at the dog shit cafe.
It's called having to buy things. Also,
I have to go to the dog shit bodega. There is no other option.
so those are the stores and shops closest to me. Instead,
The closest stores to me let dogs shit on the floor and are unhygienic. No, unacceptable. And if the other stores are so far away that you can't deal with it, you need to get that shit stopped.
instead of asking why I'm frequenting those stores, you should be asking why the hell people are bringing dogs into them. How does this turn into a conversation where I wind up having to explain why?
Maybe because you continue to frequent them, right? You vote with your wallet. You voted yes to the dog shit mart.
I shop somewhere. See, this is what the dog nutter does. The point
I did not nut on my dog. I did not touch my dog.
I was making there is that dogs have urinated and defecated in stores I go to, and for the
Yeah, literal shithole. You go and tolerate shithole stores. I would simply not tolerate that.
record, I'm not saying this is happening all the time, but it should
Just a little bit.
never happen. The problem isn't my choice to shop somewhere, you sack of shit. The vast majority of the people commenting on this video are obviously terrible people. Here is an example of
Oh, he's attacked you, chat. He's attacked you.
one that straight up admits that they engage in victim blaming. And this idiot clearly didn't even understand what I wrote, even with someone reading it out for them. I didn't say I was getting bitten all the time. The only thing I'm
I did
doing
not.
is
I did
minding my
not.
business. That is a common scenario.
Just picking up my urine-soaked bag of bread.
A person will be out for a walk, or perhaps they are working outdoors, or they are inside their own home. When a dog, either via its sonic assaults or its
Sonic assaults.
physical intrusion,
This dog is forcing me to play Sega games.
will create an instant problem for them. The dog and its enabling owner, that is the guilty party. And yes, the dog owner is wrong just for having an insufferable creature that conducts itself this way,
You say that about dog owners, but what about your mother, bro?
the way that dogs do. Honestly, the amount of dog worshippers who have gone over this specific list, who still find a way to pretend I'm the one who is the problem, when the problem
Didn't that list include him saying dogs have peed and pooped in his home?
is clearly the presence of dogs, something I provided countless examples of. It is
Yeah. Stores shouldn't be letting dogs in. Why would you support a store that allows that? It's very simple.
very disappointing. It goes to show that pro-dog people have no ability to be empathic and respectful towards others. If they could,
None.
they would not only not defend dogs, they'd not own them in the first place.
I don't. Haha!
Now, imagine if you told a friend about something terrible that happened to you. How long
Imagine if I told a friend, oh man, I hate having to shop at this poop store. I know what my friend would say.
would you stay friends with that person if their response was to say to you that it must have been your fault somehow?
I'm not your friend. You're some weirdo on the internet using text-to-speech to dump out a bajillion dog videos.
That they don't care.
Maybe he doesn't understand that you treat people differently depending on your relation to them. And not only this video isn't him, it's a piece of media he's published.
And that you likely deserve it. Well, this is exactly how these contemptible cretins are responding when they hear about the awful things dogs do to people, which includes violently taking their lives, or making their lives a living hell. Dog defenders don't care, and they have no respect for life.
No respect for life. Why are you fucking with them then? They're gonna kill you. If they genuinely have no respect for life, they will slaughter you. I don't think you feel a threat of that. Or maybe he does. Maybe that's why he uses text-to-speech, in which case, that's really funny. We had to deal with our neighbors having a noisy dog. We pursued them with noise complaints. We got the council involved, and they ultimately, I think, ended up getting rid of their dog. Although they were forced to put in extra effort to make sure the dog was quiet during appropriate hours, like the evening and the morning. You let dogs into your apartment.
This was one dog, and it
Oh, it is. So this is the line where he's talking about dogs peeing in his apartment or whatever. It was one dog. It's just one dog.
belonged to a woman I was dating at the time.
You're not the only one who was dating her, brother.
And believe me, I did not make that mistake again. This was also years ago. I didn't assume that when she asked me if she could bring her dog over, that it would piss on the floor. Because as we have had to...
Every time. There was that guy who was all messed up by seeing a dog's cock and he couldn't stop thinking about it. This man, cocked by a cocker spaniel.
State numerous times. People don't randomly wake up hating dogs for no reason, and they don't normally go around assuming dogs will aggravate their lives to no end before the dogs themselves have demonstrated a willingness to do it. And most aren't born hating these critters. In fact, most people give dogs a fair shake first, or they embrace them due to it being a social expectation that they do so. And inevitably dogs disappoint them, or ruin things for them, or they do much worse.
Like your rug, your dang old carpet.
Things happen, and over time people develop a deep hatred for these vermin.
It's actually hilarious that he put pretty much killed my great-grandmother so far down the list after peed on my apartment floor.
Yes, I forgot about that. If that is what the list, there's like peed on my apartment floor, peed in the shop I go to, barked at me, pretty much killed my great-grandmother. Weird order.
First of all, these aren't rankings. I merely...
Bro, I'm autistic and this is too autistic for me. It's not a ranking, but something can be inferred from the order you're recounting things, right? When you're making a list of reasons you hate dogs or things dogs have done to you, you put pretty much killed a family member of mine at the end. That's weird as hell.
made a list, in no particular order, and there is nothing funny at all about either scenario, whether we're...
Your apartment floor getting peed on because you were so thirsty for puss is funny. I'm sorry. Your grandma getting hurt by a dog or whatever, that's not funny. Your grandma getting hurt by a dog coming after you being so desperate for puss you let a dog into your apartment and it peed on the floor. When you're writing a list, when you're thinking of things, oh yeah, by the way, oh yeah, a dog did try and kill a family member. That coming after. That scenario itself is pretty funny.
talking about a dog pissing on your floor, or knocking over an elderly woman in the streets, causing her to pass much sooner than she otherwise would have.
Hold up. Hang on. How much sooner? Did she like get bumped into by a dog and then years later die? Or are we talking like she broke her hip and that messed her up or what?
She did not die immediately, but sometime later, as a result of complications related to that specific injury.
Okay. Here. Seeds of hatred for dogs and dog culture. This has to be about dogs. Obviously, the sort of rhetoric parallels to human race. And yeah, a lot of this reads like a dog whistle. Is used that way, but I think it's incidental that it comes off that way because of that. I think this is on its face about dogs.
Yes, it is on its face about dogs.
Is there going to be a but?
I don't understand why you would even entertain the idea that it is actually about something else instead.
Why do you think? It's done quite often, actually, brother.
Or rather, I don't know how you arrived at this conclusion. Or
You don't know? Come on.
speculation. It is very obvious that I am talking about dogs and not anything else.
With their underwear sticking out of their jeans that are around their ankles. Always playing basketball.
And it's actually rather ironic that you say this.
Oh.
Yet you have subscribers who post comments like this.
Yeah, probably a bunch of racist people in my subscribers. How do you think I learned about this? Wait, no, look! You're providing me with examples of the exact kind of rhetoric I'm saying leads me to think that perhaps what he's doing is dog whistling. Yes, even one of these things happening is too much. It shouldn't be. The dogs shouldn't be there to do the attacks in the first place. This is exactly what people say about immigrants, people of other races, and so on and so forth. How can you're putting on screen why I suggested it might be a dog whistle, brother? Is this guy a musoid? Yes, you're zooming in. You're zooming in on an example of what I'm suggesting your rhetoric parallels. Yes.
Seriously, I don't understand why
Yeah, pretty racist comment.
this keeps coming up. And then we have this genius here. Hey Copernicus, you were hidden from my channel months ago. No
Copernicus? Copernican heresy. Sticky Jim 9982.
one can see anything you're typing in my comment sections. And what level of maturity are you at? That you think calling someone a gay baby is something to brag online about?
I'm sorry, is this guy having a war with someone via the comments under my video? By the way, pinned comment. Kanon Official said under this video, my comments are being deleted left and right under that video, but I don't seem to be blocked. Kanon, I have a hands-off approach. The reason there's a bunch of nasty shit in my comments is because I don't delete anything. YouTube automatically filters a bunch of stuff, but I don't touch shit.
I hope you realize that this is not a flex.
These videos feel like coded language
They do!
for something different.
Well, they're not.
Well, they're not. Inexplicably popular. Bro, do you know where dogs come from? How did we end up with dogs? Why do we have them?
I know full well the supposed origins of the dog.
Supposed. Oh my god. Are we getting in on the deep lore about their true Yakubian origin?
Even if it is entirely accurate, it does not explain their popularity today.
Of course it does. In major part. Yes.
Of course, a dog nutter's comment section wouldn't be complete without the egregious misuse of term ragebait and references to the use of AI voices.
Egregious misuse of the term ragebait. Most holy of enshrined rhetoric. Ragebait.
And have a look at this comment here about how people
I'm looking.
supposedly created dogs to serve them, to serve us. Funny, but these hyper-aggressive mutants that rage at everyone who approaches and which are absolutely
My man, maybe he's so inside the dog or anti-dog community that he doesn't see other discourses and realize how much what's being said parallels with, for instance, talk about race and subways and how you have to not make eye contact because these people will be randomly violent, so on and so forth, being said.
destroying everything due to their population explosion. They are doing anything but serving us. Finally,
I think cats are worse. It's really shocking how much wildlife cats kill. Have you seen the numbers? Actual bird-cost. Cats worse than Hitler if we're talking about bird deaths by a lot.
although there is at least 2 hours worth of cringe content here, there's this shitbag who refers to my content as schizophrenic drivel,
How dare he?
whilst saying they think it is
How
too
dare he.
articulate to be the words of a human. Since when is drivel articulate? And I will take that as a compliment. But just because you think it is articulate does not mean it isn't the work of a person. I may use AI to read out what I have written, but I can assure you that I wrote it myself. I don't use AI to write for me.
Okay.
Like somebody else I know.
Secretly a dog.
From the very credible threat of force they're
Wait, is the implication meant to be that I use AI to write for me? Because if it is, he's correct.
White Power Ranger fan fed the streamer
Thank you.
Chihiro Super Bear. He's just seeing the same dog over and over again.
True.
Presence implies. Dogs have caused me to have to deploy canisters of spray and gel
Dogs have made me squirt.
to stop their vicious and
Dogs have forced me to spray my own territory with urine. It's the only language they understand. I did not pee in my house. I did not pee around my house. I did not pee in the garden. That's not what I said. Harmful Opinion's whole video is... He just says these silly things.
And actually, there are a few more good comments that were posted under this horrible video, though you have to do a bit of digging to find them. For example, this one.
I hate dogs because they are everywhere. So, even though the average dog is not dangerous, it is only a matter of time before you encounter aggressive dogs whose owners are outsmarted by their dog.
The dog will take their life savings and spend it on Hawk Tuah coin.
Dogs are basically the only dangerous animals that exist in my area. Everything else is tiny or there aren't many. If dogs weren't here, this place
There are hundreds of duck-sized dogs, but they're not a problem.
would be a lot safer.
Or, like Cassie Bennett said,
Not a single valid argument, just dogs good, people bad. Repeating pet industry propaganda without a single genuine thought.
I'm pretty sure, okay, in my react, I said it's totally justified and probably even correct that if a dog has shown that they are aggressive to the point of harming a person, it is correct to destroy them. I don't know. I don't feel that this applies to me.
Then there is this post, where they start out by saying they agree that dog culture has gone a bit too far, but
Yeah, the fur baby stuff. Very cringe. People not training them? Horrible. You should have control over the animals you own. You need to. And if your dog hurts someone, you should be f***ed as if you did that to them. Maybe with exceptions if it was like an act of God, there's like an earthquake that lets your animal out or something and you could not have controlled it. But if there's any degree of negligence, you should be absolutely screwed from having someone hurt because you did not control an animal you own, essentially.
seriously, if you think it has only gone a bit too far, you aren't paying attention. Just refer to a previous video
Oh, I don't want to see that, man.
called Dog Nuttery, a short documentary.
I don't want to look up dog nut.
And of course we have someone aptly named Deplorable Degenerate. They imply in their post that the problem is that I'm a cyclist.
Are you? Oh no.
And I never even said I was. But
But was he right? Could he tell? You never even said you were, but did they nail it?
this is their response to me, stating that a dog once nearly killed me whilst riding a bike. I am not a cyclist, but that's obviously
okay.
not the problem. I don't know if this degenerate is deliberately trolling here or what, and for the record...
Maybe. Brother, you know their name of choice. Their handle is Deplorable Degenerate. And then you found them to say things disagreeable. I feel like that's on you.
Trolling is when someone posts or comments online to deliberately upset others. Words don't mean whatever we want them to.
That's not... That's just being mean. Trolling is to suck people into engagement. Make them rage out and get involved. Like, you've been trolled. You've been trolled, Kanon.
And I have noticed in recent years that people these days will use trolling as though it meant someone posting something I don't agree with. At any rate, this piece of garbage is almost certainly trolling, unless they are a complete psychopath. Although I suppose they aren't mutually exclusive.
This sounds like one of those people for whom dogs take an immediate dislike.
So you mean basically anyone?
Oh...
Most people don't trust a person who their dogs don't like.
You're referring
That's
to dog
true.
nutters, not actual people. And yes, that
Not actual people! This is the kind of rhetoric. The dehumanizing rhetoric alongside other rhetoric that can be paralleled with the arguments of racists, some of which you showcased, is why part of me is like, am I dumb? Is this a dog whistle? Looking forward to you clipping that, having me say, am I dumb? And you going, yes, in TTS, you bastard. But anyway.
is the problem. It's not even about dogs liking someone or not. Dogs don't like anyone. Their sole interest in humans is acquiring food and other resources. They attack because it is obviously in their nature to do so.
How many dogs have you been around? You say you've been around a ton and they're everywhere. Nah.
And they can be observed visiting violence upon any living thing that has the misfortune of being too close to where they happen to be. This phenomenon where people feel vindicated in hating complete strangers who aren't out to harm them or anyone.
Okay, I feel like we're getting into heavy irony territory now.
Simply because their revolting beasts exhibit this mindless aggression towards them at random. It really is a problem.
The highlighted comment is, I'm convinced these videos are produced by ghouls hiding amongst humans, but can be found out by dogs, hence the hatred. It's a funny comment. It's a joke. It's not laugh out loud funny, but it's someone having a jape.
And it goes hand in hand with this bizarre, superstitious idea that dogs are somehow able to sense bad people. And of course, I've gone over this at some length in multiple prior videos. This triggered troglodyte saying they doubt I was bitten unprovoked multiple times is clearly implying I must have done something to provoke each attack.
I don't think they're clearly implying that. They're implying that that claim is false. It could be that they don't believe you've been bitten multiple times.
Which is not the case at all, unless you define provoke as merely existing near a dog. And then this other lunatic actually states that dogs can detect ghouls, and implies I must be one of them.
Ghouls are not real. Ghoul hands did not type this script. My fingers are normal length and you cannot see the bones through my skin.
Here is one of those internet gangsters daring strangers to come take their dogs. This is why I firmly believe the government really does need to step in and
They do sometimes.
actually do something about this. Because they are not going to challenge armed enforcers whose task it is to confiscate dangerous dogs in the interest of public health and safety. And here is another lunatic with exactly 7 dogs.
It is a complete mystery to me.
Do you believe them? Exactly 7. Is there significance? Is this like Warhammer? Like Chaos? When you have units of a certain number, they get the favor of their patron god? Exactly 7 dogs. Doesn't he know that's the most lethal pack size?
How having a
Bro, what do you think about cars? Of course, the counter-argument will be like, a car doesn't have a mind of its own. Yeah, but look how many car crashes happen. How many car crashes would happen if no one had cars?
This bears repeating, but, as with the other example, his whole entire video is like that.
Yes. If your argument is, these deaths shouldn't occur, this harm shouldn't occur, and it occurs because dogs are there, so dogs need to go. The way you formulated your argument makes it vulnerable to comparison to other arguments regarding the prohibition of other things, the existence or presence of which leads to more death than there would be without them. Do you understand?
He actually states multiple times that my video is a racist dog whistle.
I didn't say it is. I didn't say it is. Okay? I'm pretty sure I even said I feel like I'm losing my mind because it parallels so heavily.
Or he says he's unsure if it is.
Yeah.
Or he strongly implies it. He also laughs at just about everything. Including when I detail having been seriously inconvenienced.
You're laughing? I've been seriously inconvenienced. And you're laughing?
Even attacked and nearly killed, actually. And, as with his red herring about cars.
Who are you? Red herring? It's not a red herring. It's an attack on the structure and form of your argument.
Just now, he might bring up some irrelevant distraction, but it was clear to me from the start that this is not a serious person. When he...
Oh no. Oh no. The giant ear cartoon with an AI voice does not believe I'm a serious person.
Stops mid-sentence and pauses my video to let out what really sounds like a fake laugh.
Oh no!
To think of it. This is the kind of person who would be over-talking an opponent in a debate.
Ooh, how could I? He would talk over someone.
He is as obnoxious and loathsome as a dog.
This rules. This is so good. Check this out.
When a dog does something terrible because it is...
See what I mean? He can't even get through the first sentence he hears.
It's a funny picture, man.
And there really was nothing funny about what I said.
I wasn't laughing at what you said.
And the difference between dogs and cars is that cars are necessary.
For what? Ooh, for what?
At least for most people.
Ooh. You want to argue that seeing eye dogs aren't necessary? Would you concede? If necessity to function for a given person justifies the presence of something that can cause death, brother, you've conceded that dogs need to go. You can't hold on to dogs need to go anymore. Oops.
Whereas dogs are not. and they are useful.
Uh-oh. Unlike dogs. Oh, that's it. Well, that ruled. That was super good.